You son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty. Rock. Blue chip shit.
The last part played a little early, but we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome into the latest edition of Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. I'm one half of your host. I am Rob.
I'm Clint.
And we are back. First time in a couple weeks. Last week should have been back. Had a little bit of difficulties, but we're here now. So in order to mitigate that, we are going to cover the most major events from the last 3 weeks and this past weeks of wrestling in particular, along with news, pushing Mount Rushmore off into the next show to save a little bit on time this week. So let's get started with the news. Then we'll jump into the most recent pay-per-views that were major. Since at least October 1st, which would be, you said, No Mercy, Fastlane, Wrestle Dream.
That's it.
Yeah, and then this week in professional wrestling.
All right. No.
You could jump in if you got something. If not, I can. I got one queued up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So a little bit of spoiler alert, and we'll get into the particulars of what happened. But Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge while under his slave name in the WWE, is now part of All Elite Wrestling. He is All Elite. He feels that he can help the industry in AEW. Recently, he spoke on it. He did an episode of Talk Is Jericho that I did recently listen to a couple days ago. It was a very good episode, actually. And he discussed about how he wants to help maximize with the remaining time he has in his career in AEW. Quote, I want to help, and coming in here, it felt like I could help the wrestling industry as a whole more. Because let's face it, WWE is going to be fine. Here was going to be fine whether I came here or not, but I just feel like I'm able to get more of an opportunity to really get in and try and move the product forward and be a part of that. On the names he's never faced before in AEW roster, he says it's a really exciting thing. Quote, instead of kind of coming in once every 3 months or something, and again, I've never faced Claudio, Moxley, Joe, MJF, Omega, Adam Page, whoever's yelling next door. Because there was some guy that was, I guess they were doing the episode backstage, and somebody was like barking in the locker room, so you can kind of overhear him during the interview. But that's why I said that. FTR, the Young Bucks, said we've never touched. There's 2 years worth of stories right there. So that's really what I plan on doing, just maximizing however much time I have left and really going for it and liking and kicking the doors off like let's go. Another thing he said is basically his whole reasoning why he even went to AEW had a lot to do with his daughters, who are 9 and 7. He basically got the contract offer from WWE, and then he took time to talk to Tony Khan, sat down with him. So after that, he went to his daughters like, all right, well, here's what our tangible thing is. We could do this, or we could do this. And the last this was basically just, call it a day and retire. And they basically came to this conclusion like, you should go have fun with Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay being Christian, that's his real name. He's in AEW, doing some of the best work of his career, a lot of people are saying right now. So that's what he chose to do.
I respect that. I think Edge is just at the point of his career now to where he just want to just have matches and just wrestle people that he want to wrestle. And he got that right to do that. Mm-hmm. So, and it's crazy because I don't think nobody's hating on Edge for leaving like it was when what was the last person we talked about? I think it was RVD who got some hate for leaving. But Edge, everybody loves Edge. And then again, like I say, the FTR thing, they helped him when he came back the first time. He was training with them. So yeah, they got a lot of storylines right there. Triple H gave his was talked about, and he just said time. He said the timing was right for him. It was right for us. He had an amazing career and an amazing send off here. I felt like he done what there was to do. We sort of felt, I think he's right. We wish him the best, no animosity, no hard feelings. He's doing what's right for him and his family, and I'm happy for him, very happy for him. I sent him a message saying I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. This has to be right for you. Grind a lot of hard work. It has to be right for you. Somebody feels like a different opportunity is better for them. That's wonderful. But the machine don't stop for anyone. We're going to continue to grow, continue to do what we do. If you're a young person trying to grow every day for no negative reason, when you see him walk, you think, damn right, I'm going to take his spot. Take his spot. That creates opportunity, and everyone stepped their game up to fill that role. And there are a line of people more capable than taking it to the next level, just like he was when he came in here. So, nothing but praise and what's the name. That's true. I like the way he looked at it. He looked at it like, I look at it, some of these people who gonna step up and try to do what Edge did when he was here. Like, shoot, this waiting to be filled by somebody. Question is who gonna fill him, you know? So, no animosity between them two. Highly respected.
I got some stories here I was saving, and I'm going to continue to save to our next show. It just couldn't pull up right now, but I'll have them pull up next time. But I'm going to jump into these ones I do got. One's a name you would know from Stardom here. Maya Yamashita, she says she's headed to MLW. Announced on last night's Slaughterhouse pay-per-view. It was announced in a vignette that the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling star is coming to the promotion. No word on the exact date of the debut, but it is going to happen.
Oh, man.
That's what they're saying.
MLW. And a lot of people leaving Stardom. Cardi Zane leaving Stardom. She just finished up her dates with Stardom. She's WWE bound. Question is when?
Yeah.
When, so.
Vince.
Watch some MLW now.
Yeah.
Got reason to watch it.
It says reported that Vince McMahon has reportedly been pulled back from WWE's weekly storylines as a new reporter has reported on why. As been reported, McMahon has backed off the involvement in the company's on-screen storylines. AAA is now fully in charge there again. According to Sports Illustrated, the move was instituted by Ari Emanuel. According to reports, Emanuel, the head of Endeavor, who now owns WWE, is behind the change.
I'm going to say, yeah, Vince don't have control and ownership.
He is behind the change as he believes people need to do the specific jobs they are assigned. That means Triple H is in control of creative while McMahon is focusing on business aspects of the company. The report notes that McMahon has ironclad contract that protects him financially, though not in terms of such decisions like this. So basically, he's a figurehead. He's just there getting paid. Like, because he, is Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So basically, it's ironclad that you really can't get rid of him, but like you can't do a damn thing around her anymore. You don't have that authority.
And if you do anything that gets yourself in trouble again, they have a loophole to
get rid of you.
To get rid of you.
Yeah.
Get rid of you. So yeah.
So that should be interesting. I'll let you go with it because my last one's a funny one.
Okay, I'll go with a couple then. More news about CM Punk, because we all know CM Punk. Everything going on here about him returning to WWE. I don't think it's going to happen. Some people said it was a safe bet that he'll return at Survivor Series because it's in Chicago. This from the Wrestling Observer said that they are in talks. No confirmations have been made, but some of the stuff is higher ups believe that Punk will return to the company if they made an offer, which means the ball's in WWE's court. 2 weeks ago, they had been talk with Punk. Still been put out since September. Somebody said Punk need to reach out to Vince so that they can rehash the past drama that led to his public departure in 2014. We all know the infamous pipe bomb and everything, which was, people say it was actually CM Punk for real. He still has heat for comments he made about WWE in the past. So they want to make sure he don't pull none of the stuff that he pulled when he was in AEW backstage. One top star said if he try to think he did AEW, he gonna get his ass handed to him. Another one believed Triple H won't bring in the negativity that Punk brings, but know that he bought controversial names in the past. AEW star said that Punk will still verbalize how much he dislikes WWE, Triple H, and Vince McMahon. I'm not shocked that he probably did. And then they said that as of now, no one WWE creator have been informed about Punk coming in, and that the best in the world line from Raw that happened on television was just a coincidence. So, And you said you don't. It's probably not likely he's coming back.
Yeah, all the reports I'm hearing is that it's not going down, bro. They're not taking that chance. You know why? Because they know he's a powder keg, and as much as they could use it as, oh, this spoke to competition, you know, he was here first anyway, blah 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 blah. I think they also saw the writing on the wall. It's twofold for me. Number one, they saw from the outside what was happening backstage, because it's not like that shit was a fucking secret. His fighting with the Bucks, him fighting with Omega, him fighting with Jungle Boy and whoever the such. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you about that William Regal story? That wasn't even out there. That he fought backstage with William Regal when he first got there. Now Regal's back in WWE. You think he hasn't told other people about that shit?
Oh, you know he has. And that's Triple H's boy too. That's one of Triple H's closest friends.
Exactly. You don't think Triple H ain't be like, hey, what was your interactions with him when you were in AEW? You don't think he ain't told him that shit?
No, I believe it. That's why I said that the report, some of the top superstars said that they think Triple H won't bring him back because of all the negativity, but Triple H haven't shied away from bringing in a controversial name before, though.
Just to stick it to, I don't think it's worth it. Because I think he knows, like, if he's going to do it there, why wouldn't he do it here?
Triple H don't like CM Punk anyway.
Exactly.
He never liked the CM
But, like,
Punk.
if he's going to do that there, why wouldn't he do that here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think they look at it like that, too. And I heard the idea had been shot down. Like, they were just like, I'm cool. Like, pass.
That's good. Pass.
So that's what I'm hearing. That's why I'm like, it's twofold in that way. Like, why bring the cancer in just so, you know what I'm saying, he can come and just be a shitty person about it or whatever. It's all good, whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree. Stay away from him. Let him do whatever it is he want to do. Let him box one of them Paul brothers or something. He can find something to do. That might be better than his UFC career. Next story. Hulk Hogan said WWE had plans for Nick Hogan at Mania 39. Then we come to find out that this was another Hogan lie.
Because he's capped.
Anyway, let's go into it anyway, just because. Go. This Hogan's words. He said, Shane called me and sent me a picture from Madison Square Garden. I guess they got a Hall of Fame walk in there. Shane sent me pictures of him standing in front of my stuff, and he goes, "Oh, timer, you got one more left in you." Okay, I'm thinking. He like, "Okay, what you thinking?" He goes, "Well, I don't know if you have one more left, but maybe your surrogate such as Nick." So we started talking, and I only thinking of ways that after in the middle of the ring, you could have come to me because I can't run, hit ropes, taking bumps. I have to roll to my left because I can't roll to my right. The only one way I can get up if I roll to my left, so it'll be a scratch. But Nick was in Rikishi school for a couple years. He was there with Rusev and all those guys. So I'll go to California and watch him. Nick had it figured out, but then he blew both his shoulders out. I said, well, there's a possibility to maybe do somewhere the storyline is. Maybe Nick's a heel. He said that Shane destroyed his father's career. I don't know. There's a million ways to do it. But then a couple weeks later, Shane got hurt with his quad or something. So we find out that there was never no plans for Hogan or Nick at WrestleMania 39. His name has not been brought up in the last 14 years of WWE. Nick Hogan's name, that is. They said Shane had some wacky ideas in the past, but this is not one of them. Not one of them. So, okay. Oh, that's an extravagant one. Then he started talking about, man, he blew both his shoulders out. Then Shane towards the crowd like, yeah, you're basking a lie from another lie from another lie. All right, next, Eric Bischoff said he find AEW storylines to be weak. It's our weekly Uncle, what you call Uncle Saudi bitch. Uncle Eric, he always got to make his name hanging on something or someone. Someone. So, he said he talked about their weak storylines and their rely on matches to advance feuds. His words: I find the stories are weak. What are the people who are the most supporters, including are in those companies? Refer to a story, it's not a story, it's an excuse for a match. Stories don't have an arc, the drama, the vulnerability at the right point of time, the self-doubt. They don't have the degree to actually make a story. That's what's referred to as a story to justify a match. And what beats are there in the art? They're not compelling. Boy meet girl, boy loses girl, the boy gets girl back. That's a story. I'm just going to give a shit about it unless you make it a great love story. I'm almost tired of pointing it out and people only want to hear what they want and formatting a show. You look You know, they start with a hot start. When's the last time we saw Bryan Danielson in action? They did a better job of starting to format the show, but it's still the stories. But what you and a lot of the fans call stories are just not great stories. They're not compelling stories. They're just not, and that's one of the reasons why. So, Uncle Eric, always hating on somebody. Storyline.
So, can I ask real quick?
Go ahead.
Let's see. So, Dungeon of Doom, that was under your watch.
Finger poke of doom.
Finger poke of Doom. Good call there. Badoosh.
Bash of the Beach.
That was under your watch.
The fact that you made
Bash of the Beach 2000.
That was
Bash of the Beach 2000.
you
your
always
watch.
Jeff Carey consider quitting. What the one pay-per-view event that you did with Sold Out with the motorcycles?
Your watch.
Like, come on, man.
Ooh. I got one. Uncensored, 1996. Ooh. 3 Cages from Hell.
Ooh.
When it was Hogan and Macho Man versus everybody. That terrible piece of shit. Wasn't that the one where Abdullah had to act like he got electrocuted? Or was that another case?
No, that was something else.
That was also under his watch, though. That shit was there, too.
No, I don't think that was under his watch. Was that under his?
That was under his watch. Well, hold on.
No, I think that's ECW. Him and
No.
Jack.
That was in WCW.
Oh, Lord.
But I don't think he was given power yet. I think he was still just an announcer dude at the time.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking we're talking like 93 or 94.
Oh, okay.
So that was right before his fucking watch.
What was the one match they had when they like fighting like the back of like a truck or something? Like a bunch of
That
hay?
wasn't his watch.
That wasn't him?
That was the Bunkhouse Brawl with
That wasn't
Dustin Rhodes versus the Bunkhouse Bully or some shit like that. A Backstreet Bully, a Blacktop Bully, some shit like that. But yeah, that wasn't under his watch. They weren't supposed to bleed and stuff. That was Jim Herd.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
when you watch the pay-per-view, they cut out the blood and everything.
Yeah, that was under Pizza Man's watch. That wasn't under his watch. But my point is he had a bunch under his watch. A bunch that were fucking terrible under his watch. He thinks he gets a pass because you stole the NWO idea.
And you fucked that up.
Yes, exactly. Before the word finished rolling off of my tongue, I literally was like, and you stretched that shit beyond belief. Before I could finish saying it, you finished the fucking sentence.
Mama became a member of NWO.
So my point is, you had a lot of terrible shit under your watch and a lot of terrible fucking storytelling. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Listen.
You can't even dignify some of that shit you did, man. You can't even. All right.
Oh, I'll give you maybe the worst. Starrcade 97.
Oh, God.
How you had the ref do a slow count because Hogan went behind your back and told him to do that, and then have Bret Hart come out and then redo the whole match right there on the spot.
That whole bunch
just to ruin the storyline that you had going on, which was quite possibly the best storyline in wrestling at the time, for a whole year with the Sting thing, to fuck it up like that. Your watch.
You keep it going. I mean, the whole Fireball incident with Warrior and Hogan.
The whole Ultimate Warrior thing, period.
Yeah.
Your watch.
It'll fall under you, buddy. I mean,
yep. You kowtow to Hogan and letting him do whatever. Let me make up this loss, brother.
Man, I just...
He's in the wall. Larry Zbyszko, your watch.
Oh, God. That's a lot, bitch off. No, the down days. Oh, my Lord, man.
Hating ass.
Oh, man. Should I go with the indie wrestler or Lacey Evans?
Let's hear Lacey.
Okay, well, we go from one Saudi bitch to somebody getting to another one who has some words for one Lacey Evans. She kind of makes her statement back. First of all, she's open about her release. This was she was on Teddy Long and Mac Davis Road Trip After Hours. She said on the decision leaving WWE. She said it was just a bit much as far as I couldn't do it. It was a bit much as it wasn't for me. I lasted 7 years in WWE. I invested and made a lot of money. I'm a business owner. I invest properties. I really sunk a lot of good money to making where I'm squared away. My priorities in comparison to a lot of professional wrestlers are different night and day. I think I was blessed to start the business venture with a full-blown awesome hustling relationship. Already had a baby. I was a business owner, making 6 figures before I even joined. I think that's her shot at Sergeant Slaughter, by the way. Wait, she said, I also took a pay cut to be able to try and use the platform to make a difference in my community. It was a lot in that regard because my priorities and idea in life was not running on red carpet and sniffing people's asses for opportunities. I'm not cut out for that, unfortunately. And of course, y'all know she was in the military. You know, she was a sergeant actually. So, and then she also talked about that AEW might be better for her due to the schedule, which I can understand. She said, I mean,
listen, Lace, I don't mean to cut bad news for you, but
no.
I feel like you might be better off just sticking to your restaurant idea you had, because I don't think the wrestling industry is missing you. It's inclusive. I'm not saying blackball you, but I'm saying just because there's another option for you to go wrestle, that doesn't mean that you're going to do well over there like you didn't do well in WWE. Now, if you're meaning to tell me that this is on WWE's part, that you should have probably did better, but they were too hands-on, which I could believe that, I guess. And you were decent in the ring. You weren't Arion, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, anything of that nature. Or who were we clowning last time? Oh, Lana. You're not that bad.
Tables.
You're not that bad. Yeah, aka Tables. But you're not that bad, but you're not that good either, though. So
yeah, you was in a
like,
feud with Becky Lynch at the peak of Becky Lynch. And
right.
People didn't like that feud.
Yeah, like this.
Like she had to carry you during matches late.
The only match I could ever say she had that was super, super solid was the match that she had in Saudi Arabia against Natalya.
But that's just because Natalya can make a good match for anybody, though.
See what I'm saying?
Like,
so you may have just explained away why that was a good match. So that takes the validity out of what I was trying to say for you there. Good looking out, Leno. Which leads to my point: stick to your day job you already got.
She also acknowledged that the AEW schedule might be better suited to her, saying that, absolutely, I'm mean as hell. I'm one mean son of a gun. That was probably my fault at requesting my release. There's no hard feelings at WWE's.
If they bring her in, I don't want her used like a main roster person. I would bring her in from the bottom up. Like, you job out to ROH women wrestlers and work your way up. I don't want them to bring her on main roster like she's a fucking commodity. Like, come on, man, for real, bro.
She said the lifestyle is for people at that point when they hold that title above their head. That's what makes them feel significant or feel like they accomplished something. Me being able to make my kids food or cook for my old man, that to me is worth all the weight and gold.
Exactly, so stick to that. You just said it your fucking self.
I think she would like to go to AEW. I think she don't want to be like main roster thing. I think she won't like a schedule. Like she could come in, wrestle when she want to, what's her name, and then, you know. But then again, you're not Randy Orton though. Like Randy Orton can negotiate stuff like that. He's Randy freaking Orton. Orton. You got any more news stories?
Just one.
All right, I'm gonna start to this one. So, an independent wrestler was arrested and fired after assaulting an autistic fan at an event. Independent wrestler Creepy the Clown, whose real name is Michael R. Klein Sr., found himself in legal trouble after an incident involving the assault of a fan found at an Indiana powerhouse wrestling event.
What did he do?
As reported, according to court documents, a 34-year-old autistic fan attended a wrestling show with his caregiver and was described as being loud and boisterous, which irked some of the people in the vicinity. I mean, it's one of the signs of having autistic, you know. At the event, Klein purposely confronted the fan, elbowing him in the back of the head and screamed, "If you want to call somebody a bitch, call me a bitch." The fan retaliated by hitting him in the face with a soda can.
Good for him.
Yeah, right. Good for
real.
Good for you. Good for you. But the caregiver attempted to intervene where obstructed by others present. Klein berated the autistic fan, made derogatory remarks before being advised to depart by a witness. A representative from IPW confirmed that he admitted his involvement in the altercation, claimed that the fan provoked him, and he's been terminated from the company. Visuals sustained injuries including a broken nose, numerous facial cuts. Now, Klein is facing a battery charge with a potential prison sentence of 1 to 6 years if convicted.
Damn. I wonder if he will be, because there's a lot of times where like wrestlers go shoot and like start actually attacking like patrons, whether it be fans in this instance or like, do you remember that rep? Do you remember on the Abdullah the Butcher episode of Dark Side, that Hannibal dude that was suing him?
Yeah.
So remember they said that he attacked a ref and was stabbing him for real.
Yeah.
He should have got a charge for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
I don't feel
like,
bad for you because you made all that crap to shit on Abdullah the Butcher, but then you do something like that though, you're no better.
Exactly. So my point is that I can see this guy getting the charge and being blackballed from a lot of wrestling places.
I mean,
where it moves from there, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but the man was autistic though. Like that's one of the signs of when you have autism. They be like loud and what's name. They can't control it, So like, and then if you knew the kid was autistic as the fans, oh well, leave then. Like that would leave. Like if you feel you being too loud, he's autistic. Ain't nothing you can't control.
That's what I didn't really get out of it. Did he ever come to find out himself the dude was autistic and he was just like fuck him? Or
apparently,
or he didn't. Did he not know?
He probably. It's hard. I don't know. They really don't say. The way the story come off to me. I'm guessing that he probably didn't know until like people told him. But they said he had a caregiver with him. But they said that like I guess the caregiver couldn't really end up being as good because there was a bunch of people in between. So maybe somebody probably told him he's autistic. Then that's when he probably backed away. Probably. But I don't know though. Like.
That's just
it's hard to say. I'm gonna find out more about that though, but it's hard to say though. But yeah, but good again. Good for that fan though, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So my last story is Jeff Jarrett reflects on Wild Slap Nuts. We'll get to that when we get to the to the week, and we'll save it. He reflects on TNA wrestler taking shots at WWE and Vince McMahon during his time running TNA. So on his latest episode of My World with Jeff Jarrett, the WWE Hall of Famer talked about TNA wrestlers taking shots at WWE and talking about Vince McMahon. On TNA Knockouts taking shots at WWE Diva Division at the time when Gil Kim left TNA for WWE. Quote, yes, and because the context is king, big time in this scenario, because I had mixed emotions of an old adage, okay, we're TNA, the challenger brand, of course. You could punch up, but you'll never punch down.
You punched everybody down your first thing at TNA. You had to go to shovel like Triple H did back in the Evolution day. You was burying everybody.
You got to punch up. But in our case, the knockout division compared to the Divas, I believe any wrestling fan at the time would have said this in the time frame of 2008. The knockout division was far superior. And, quote, I do agree it was.
What?
They had a better women's division than WWE back then because WWE cared about was TNA at the time.
They did.
They didn't care about the actual women's wrestling.
Awesome Kong, Beautiful People.
Yeah.
I think you had Tara at the time.
Taryn Terrell was there during the time.
You
with
all
the Dollhouse.
women division was, y'all women division were way. That's probably the best thing about y'all. The TNA.
They said they actually wrestle and they do storylines and it's not just bra and panties and pillows and all that kind of stuff. We actually took pride in branding of what it was, the Knockouts division, and is one of our 4 divisions in TNA: heavyweights, tags, and X division. Wanting to have distinct personalities and no cookie cutter in there. There was 2 ladies that were.
I give them that too. They X division championship. You probably say it's probably better than WWE too at that time. You had all them.
That was 2 ladies. That was because that was basically like their version of cruiserweights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had aspects to them that made them raw, but they had a lot of other aspects that made them cheese, though. The 6-sided ring, some of their presentation. You know what I'm saying? Just like
6-sided ring, yeah.
Just lighting alone in the arena it just wasn't appealing. Like I've tried to watch TNA. I've tried. They had some aspects to it that were dope, but some aspects to it that just overshadowed it, made it like. It just came off with the twinge of corn to it. You know what I'm saying? It just came off as off-brand. Like you could tell, like this. You could tell
it was generic.
You could tell this is GoBot WWE. This is Hydrox Go WWE. You know what I'm saying? It's not the actual shit. Yeah, so, and especially when you see
and then y'all kept signing all the old people. But
once again, taking the words out of my mouth, bro. When you sign their former talent and then they come in and they're shitting on their former job, like the Outlaws when they came in, they became Voodoo Kid Mafia just to make fun of Vince's name. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, for example. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of cheese.
Y'all had a lot of people.
Like
AEW
AEW take shots, but they take direct shots. They're not like I have a character that's named Vincent to make fun of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. They don't do that.
Like I remember, like y'all had a wrestler.
Not that that was WCW, but still, this is making a point.
Like y'all had a wrestler named was Sonny Siaki. He basically was like a great value rock, basically. That's what he was. He walked around with glasses on.
He said great
eyebrow. Like he was a great version of the Rock. That's what he was. And I ain't talking about like great version. I'm talking about like the great version, like the food store, like. You know, like knockoff, Save a Lot Rock. He was a Save a Lot Rock. Is basically what he was. None of the career, like he had decent wrestling. That's one. Okay, career. Had things was saying his name. Like I think he had interview said his name like 28 times. Like bro, we get it. We know your name. We don't need no. Like they just had.
But then sometimes
you had a star but then you had a star like Ron Killings who you crapped on because you bring people like Brian Christopher.
But then like
come on, bro. Like,
but this was funny. Sometimes the Hydrox version goes to the real company and then comes back out washed and new. Look at Puma Asics. People were saying he's Hydrox Rock, and now he's over there and he's the fucking shit.
Yeah, probably our biggest star right now. No one merchandise seller over there. Yeah. That's just.
Oh, so in the statement he said, end quote, and when we formed the knockout division for many times on here, we all wanted to have a distinct personalities, no cookie cutter in there. There were two ladies that were the same. So branding and doing these spots was a little bit of a conflict for me, and that's what we were trying to do. Brand our division completely different from the WWE, and we knew they were about to come on strong.
Now I know through all that he talked about the knockouts division. So he talked about the one good thing that you had going for you. So that means you knew everything else you did was not competing. Not competing.
That's it.
That's how he knew everything else wasn't competing with WWE. He knew it. In his heart of hearts, he knew it.
I mean, yeah, he knew it.
He knew it. That's like he kept trying to book himself as champion and everything like that.
That's it on my stories if you want to get into the show.
Had AJ Styles over there, man. AJ Styles should have been a champion way more than what he was. I crapped on AJ Styles while he was over there. That man single-handedly carried your company. All right, let's go into it. Let's start. First thing, pay-per-view was No Mercy. Great pay-per-view. Then again, NXT always put on great pay-per-view stuff. First match was Kaylani Jordan versus Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport gets the win at 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Good match. It's basically just a showcase for Jordan to show that like how she can hang with like topper tier talent, and she held her own. After the match, Gigi Dolan goes after Blair Davenport. We get into the open video for No Mercy was raw. Like okay, so you know how like you had a video game in No Mercy game, right? So they did it like that, and then you had like the area you would pick what's the name, and they'll pick whoever was fighting for that night. Like what's the name?
Was it actually like the Nintendo 64 game though?
Yes, like they had like the old superstars.
I'm gonna go back and watch that tonight just to see it. I don't see how.
Yeah, it was raw. I liked it.
All right.
I liked it. It was nice. Nice, and then they like do the match, and then they show like the little like montage like of how he got to that point. First match was Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. Somewhere reason okay, this was weird. Breaker comes out with a dog head costume on. Don't know why. But Baron Corbin comes out here on a motorcycle. Don't know why. Don't know why. Basically two big dudes going to the floor. Breaker basically takes control. End of this match, Breaker hits us. We're gonna get to the end. They slug it out. Fight goes outside. Corbin sends Breaker through the announce table. Breaker props her with a spear. Robert Stone calls a distraction. Corbin gets the end of days for the win at 9 minutes, 35 seconds. So, and it's odd too because Corbin was being treated as a good guy here. So I don't know if we're gonna get bum ass Corbin. We might not get him as a good guy. I don't know how you get bum ass Corbin as a good guy. Is he handing cash out to people now?
If he's a bum, he doesn't have cash to hand out. So.
Or he just being over gracious when he gets money. Next, Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams for the North American title. Get to the end of this match. Mysterio hits a 619. Super kicks Dragon Lee was the special guest referee in this match. Mysterio hits a 619. But he super kicks Lee by mistake. Then hits a neck breaker on Trick Williams. Another referee comes in. Mysterio takes out the other referee, followed by a crossbody. Williams avoids the frog splash. Knee drops the belt in Mysterio face. Dragon Lee counts the win. Trick Williams gets the title at 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So Trick Williams is your new North American champion. Shout out to Trick Williams. Next, something I am happy about. Finally, Joe Gacy tells Ava that Schism is done. Now he has to find his own way. So we ain't got to see that crap no more.
I know this had to make your heart shine. Right
I felt so happy, but I felt so bad. Ava sold it perfectly too. Like she put saying like bye, like her family's like lost. So like, but we get to where she might be going. She has some interesting prospects. Tag team titles: Tony D'Angelo and Stacks versus Bronco Nima and Lucian Prince versus the Creed Brothers versus Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. The normal tag team match that we get in NXT. Everybody get their stuff up. We had a 4-top quadruple suplex spot, which was nice. Brutus, again, never seen a big guy like so skinny and quick fight like him. Anyway, Price gets caught in the bada boom, bada bing. Champs retain. Next, we're going to get okay, so this was funny. So we get a vignette from NXT of someone watching the Bengals in WCW. The
Bengals.
The Bengals and WCW.
Okay.
And he various second generation wrestlers. We'll get to that. Next, Carmelo Butch wins the Global Heritage. We get a recap of that, which leads to the Heritage Cup. Dar survives. He retains the title. Dar gets the first fall at 2:30 of the round, 6:30 overall. Bush hits a bitter end to tie it at 9-10. 10, and then Dar gets put into a triangle choke, but the clock goes out. Dar don't tap. Round 5 begins with them going. Then we get to interference, the final round. Mensa comes out there. Bush hits a Tyler Driver 97. Dar pulls him into a knee bar. Gallus comes in after bait. Coffee comes in, hit Butch with all best for the bells. Dar retains the North America, the Heritage Cup. Next, we get our NXT title match: Dragunov versus Hayes. Of course, you know Hayes had this special interest. He had banners falling, showing everybody that he beat and retained the title. This match started off fast with Dragunov basically. He took over fast, had Hayes on his heels. Springboard Bulldog, which was supposed to be a DDT, but Hayes changed in mid-air. Dragunov gets a 2, some rolling German suplexes. Hayes with some stomp. Dragunov with a running knee. Dragunov with a coast to coast. Hayes tries a code breaker. He eats a Death Valley driver. H-bomb. The torpedo gets cut off with a super kick. Dragunov hits him out the air. Super H-bomb. Dragunov gets the pin. 12 minutes. No, my fault. At 21 minutes. Dragunov is your new NXT champion. Respect is shown between the two. Then we get our main event. Let me double check. Yes, this was our main event, which was your NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Extreme Rules. Becky Lynch went with a tribute to like Cactus Jack in this match. First of all, she come down to the ring with like a bunch of weapons. Shopping cart full of weapons. They find into the crowd. I'm just gonna go to some of the weapon spots. Becky Lynch takes not Stratton down the steps with like a fan. I don't know where we got a fan coming from. Kendo sticks. Tiffany Stratton brings out a wrench. Then brings out a hammer. Miss sidewall slam. Exploder. Then we had the spot where this is the spot I like. So Becky Lynch hides underneath the ring, and Tiffany Stratton running around saying where's she at. Becky Lynch comes out with the fire extinguisher, and then guess who she comes out with after that? You remember Cactus Jack's old friend Barbie? You know, baseball bat, barbed wire wrapped around. Yeah, she bought that out. Bought that out. Stratton eats a trash can, lay it to the head, then another one to the rib. Spine bust onto a trash can. They bring out a table. Stratton hits a hurricanrana, and then she hits a double handspring elbow, which takes them both through the barricade. You knew that barricade was super like weak collapse for the effect. Who going through a barricade off of double hand? Nobody. Nobody. Stratton hits a swan time. Our record continues. Table is undefeated here. I guess Tiffany Stratton got that Charlotte Flair wrestler name. Swan time, table don't break. Break. Manhandle slam on the floor for a 2. Stratton rolls around on the chairs. Mr. Prius moonsault, manhandle slam onto the chairs. Becky retains the title at 20 minutes. 20 minutes. At the end of the show, Hayes apologized to Trick for not getting to be double champs. William hugged him to end the show. And that was No Mercy. Good pay-per-view. Last 2 matches were fire. Awesome. I think Tiffany Stratton might have be ready for main roster move up. I see. She showed she proved me wrong.
Hayes? Is that why he dropped it?
I think they got something else set with Hayes too. I'm gonna get to. I'll probably run back to when we get to NXT.
All right, let's get through Wrestle Dream because it's like 3 times the size of that card that you just said. You just said like 4 matches, right? This is like 14. That's not a bad thing. Some people think I say that like it's a bad thing. I wish they would work on that a little bit, but it's like when you deliver this much quality with it, I don't say you can complain. It's the same thing when people talk about like the build up to. Yes, the builds aren't always as great, but when the match delivers, can you really complain if the end result is what you want?
No, you can't.
So
I just hate 4 or 5 hour pay-per-views.
this one was that if you included the pre-show, because it was Wrestle Dream, which is technically Tony Khan's like his love letter to Antonio Inoki, basically.
Oh,
and
this
his
was
idea,
to Inoki.
His idea of Inoki's idea of professional wrestling and stuff like that. Like he had his actual they had a ceremony at the beginning of the show and the pre-show. They had his grandsons there, and they had a picture of Inoki on the table, and they handed the grandsons like flowers, like they actually do in Japan and stuff, and bowed and stuff, and they had representatives there from New Japan.
I forgot this
you know what I'm
was
saying, stuff like that.
The show to Inoki. Okay, and that's different.
So that's
like,
basically
it's like a tribute show.
Basically.
So yeah.
All right, and you'll notice it through a lot of the booking and the matches that were on the card. For example, 0 Hour had a match with Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez versus Keith Lee, Satoshi Kojima, Athena, and I guess Athena now has a protege, Billy Starks. So she came on with it, which is funny because you know
Athena's face now.
She's a tweener.
Okay.
She's like, you know how she's like been like super heel. Well, then you get that with the dichotomy of the Billy Starks chick who's like super like uppity, like a cheerleader, and jumping around and bouncing around, and she's trying to get her not to be like that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So
that's kind of how like Daniel Brooke was with Kaylani Jordan before Daniel Brooke got released. Okay.
Exactly. Faces win this one after 5 minutes. Kojima hits a cozy lariat of Moriarty to get the pin. Another great match. He's gonna
be off in there. He's gonna be off TV for a while.
Who?
Him. Shout out to him.
Moriarty?
Yeah, him and Julia Hart. Shout out to them.
They're not getting married. I know that's Big Lee, Shotty Johnson.
Wrong Lee?
Lee Johnson, yeah.
Oh, wrong Lee.
Lee Moriarty, Moriarty. I can see where you get confused.
Okay.
No. Big Shotty used to be with Cody Rhodes a lot.
Okay.
He's getting married.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting married to Julia Hart.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to them.
Wrong league.
Yeah. they're having a Halloween wedding, which is coming up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Halloween themed, I guess, or whatever.
Too many leads. Keith Lee, Lee Moriarty, then Shotty Lee. It's too many leads.
So this one was funny because Moxley was on commentary, and he's on commentary for every BBC match that was on, or BCC match that was on the card tonight, because he wasn't wrestling. He's not cleared to yet. But this next match was Josh Barnett, the former UFC champion, who was formerly an announcer with JR in New Japan, had a match because he's a student of Inoki's against Claudio Castagnoli. A nice battle between the two. I would almost call it like a pure wrestling match, like the ROH Pure title, except it didn't have pure wrestling like rules, like with the amount of rope breaks and stuff like that, but it felt like that. Grapple heavy. Moxley was hilarious on commentary, saying shit such as "elbow his dickhead off, Claudio," shit like that. Either way, Claudio won this after about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. They shook hands afterwards, but kind of promised that they'll have a rematch later down the line. So it'd be cool if you saw this on like a pre-show match on like Wrestle Kingdom or something like that. I think
Josh Barnett looked. Did he look like he was in shape or something, or like?
How do I best answer that?
Oh,
I want to say in the middle of that, Clino, and I know the ways I said that makes it seem like he was all super flat, because he wasn't. For a damn near 50-something-year-old man, because he's in his late 40s, almost 50s, he looked good for his age. I'll say that. He wasn't Claudio's shape. You know what I'm saying? You know Claudio's shape.
yeah,
so
yeah.
He wasn't that.
He's probably the strongest man in wrestling, probably.
But he was decent enough. It wasn't like super flat or nothing like that. He didn't look sloppy out there. I'll definitely say that. And he held his own in the match. He didn't look out of place. It was a good match.
Okay.
It was a good match. Next match, Nick Wayne, who has a venturing development by the end of the show, taking on Luchasaurus. In the match that went 4 minutes 51 seconds, Luchasaurus wins after he hits a forearm to the back of Nick Wayne. After Nick Wayne tried to go for the Wayne's World, he gets blocked at the forearm to the back of the head. Luchasaurus wins at 4 minutes 51 seconds. Then we get into basically the main event of 0 Hour, which was TMDK. So let's do some rewind here to NXT times. Do you remember TM 619? It wasn't 619.
TM61.
TM61. There you go. I said 619 because Rem sure shit. Anyway, so you remember them cats, right?
Yeah.
Remember they broke up because the one cat was gonna have a baby, so he went back to Australia, and then the one that stayed was Shane Hayes, and he ended up being in Retribution, Slapjack.
Slapjack, yeah.
Well, now that it done being under their slave names, Shane Hayes and the guy that left to have the baby are back together, Mikey Nichols. They have another cat with them named Bad Dude Tito, and yeah, I know. Bad Dude Tito. And Zach.
What a lazy creative name.
But the leader of TMDK is Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh.
So now they're with that's Zach's faction basically.
Okay.
Faction basically.
All right.
Well, the other three members of the faction took on the Acclaim.
I mean, they can what's the name? I mean, AEW did a great job with Everrise. I mean, so I can see them doing something with them guys and making what's the name.
They took on the Acclaim for the trios, and the only funny part about it is that Shane Hayes tried to spit bars before the match and the promo, and he sounded fucking terrible.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna rehash it, but it was
Everybody
funny.
stop trying to rap.
Yeah, it was funny. So
Not everybody can rap.
they got beat with the arrival and the mic drop to retain the titles for the Acclaim 9 minutes and 18 seconds. And let's get into our main card. The show started off with world champion of AEW, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, taking on the Righteous, heavy spin-offs, advocates of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. They seem like, I wouldn't call them rip-offs, but heavily inspired maybe.
Yeah.
They looked pretty good out there. MJS totally over. He got off everything he wanted to. He didn't do a double clothesline by himself. He did off a kangaroo kick. He also threatened to stick one guy's head up the other guy's ass, and they ended up doing that. He ends up winning the match by himself and retaining the tag titles 9 minutes 35 seconds with a heat seeker on the bigger guy Dutch. Next up, we get another match that was totally Inoki inspired. The Ring of Honor World Champion and New Japan Strong Champion. Both his belts were on the line. The ROH Pro Championship was not on the line as Eddie Kingston took on Shibata. Heavy, hard-hitting match, but filled with respect at the same time. After Eddie won this one, after hitting a couple Hurricanes and then a powerbomb, we're starting to see that the Hurricane is not the finisher anymore. It's the setup into the
Powerbomb.
Yeah, to the next move. To make it, because the Hurricane's not as believable to put somebody down as you hit like 4 at the most. Anyway, after 10 minutes 58 seconds, he retains his titles, but show respect to Shibata and let Shibata get the crowd adulation as he left the ring first. Let him get his music played and stuff like that. Next match, TBS title, Chris Statlander taking on Julia Hart. Talk about wrestlers that have come a long way in the ring. Julia Hart definitely has. She has the longest winning streak.
She has.
Up until this match, she had the longest winning streak in AEW with 28 straight.
It's been a good week. That's been a good, what's name? I like the fact that something new. Julia Hart is the one that proved me wrong. I think I gave Timmy Strand her flower. She proved me wrong too. I like when you work on your. Then you have some that just come in here. You got like the Ariane, then
I like that,
and the Eva Marie's.
I don't agree on the Ariane, but all right, I digress.
And then Alicia Fox's, I guess.
But she's coming a long way, and plus I love the fact that she spits the mist, which they had an interesting spot in this match, and B, her finisher is the Rings of Saturn.
Yes,
I haven't seen since Perry Saturn doing that, so that was cool. But
it's a great finisher for a dark character like that.
Yeah,
like Neville's finisher.
Neville,
not the Red Arrow, the other submission one he had.
It looked like that with both the arms behind the back.
Yeah, but I don't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it though. I know what you're talking about though. But she there was a spot during the match where her thing has been the mist when she she gets down, she'll spit the mist in your face and then that corrupts you or whatever. You're blinded for that match, at least whatever. Well, Chris Statlander saw that shit coming and smacked it out her mouth. Soon as who's coming, like, bitch. She didn't say the bitch part, but smacked it out her mouth. Wow. Then she hit, so this pay-per-view was on a Sunday, so it was the Sunday Night Fever. It goes by the day of the week. To retain her title, 8 minutes, 54 seconds, but great showing by Julia Hart in this one.
Proud of her.
And now she's going to have some time off to go get married, so congratulations to her. Our next match was my weakest match of the night, though it wasn't a bad match when I say that. It just was, for the participants in it, I felt like we could have got this on any Dynamite or Collision, and at the same time, this is where I felt like this is one of the matches that really wasn't necessary to be on the card, because the card was so long. So if you had to trim the fat somewhere, I probably would have did it with this. But when you have some of the EVPs of the company in the match, I guess it gets to stay on the card. This is the Guns versus Orange Hook, which is Orange Cassidy and Hook, versus the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. Now, to hear those names on paper, who do you think won this match?
Oh, hold on. What was the name? You said Young Bucks?
Lucha Brothers, Hook, and Orange Cassidy and the Guns.
I mean, didn't Hook and Orange win this match, I want to say?
Nope. Bucks.
Oh, of course.
They want us
to hear that name, I thought you were trying to be different.
Basically, Penta was left by himself because earlier in the match, Ray Phoenix had left. Again? He hurt his shoulder jumping into a barricade somehow at the beginning of the match, so he left and never came back. Though he defended his title like a couple nights later on Dynamite. He won that damn hurt. This was just for the match purposes. So Penta was by himself. Eventually got caught by himself and took a BT trigger from the Bucks, 12 minutes and 10 seconds. So they get a future title shot at the tag chance, which everybody thought at this point in time would be FTR because they did have the belts at the time. And then a week later, they no longer had the belts. So who knows who this title shot is going to be against in the future? We'll see.
I know how they're going to.
But they are the number one contenders.
I already know how AEW's going to book it. All right, no.
They are the number one contenders, though. So we'll see where that goes. Next up is outside of the main event, which was just brutal, but for match, the build going into it and what it is and what coming out of it can be match of the night. Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland.
Match. Yes.
This match was fucking amazing. Even with all the Guga, you know what I'm saying, as far as like Prince not getting involved in shit, and like, you know, members of the embassy coming out or whatever the fuck.
Prince not going on me.
Like, they went hard. Swerve Strickland went hard. Yeah. For as much as they were putting behind him, you would believe that shit after watching this fucking match. Hangman had a great match too, because it takes two to tango. But I thought Swerve knocked this bitch out the park. I thought he had a great match, great emotes, selling all that shit. He did his thing in this one.
Also turned the crowd in his face.
He was at home though too, so he was gonna have it. I mean, they were booing Hangman. You know, whose house? Swerve house was for real in this case.
The main apex of this match was basically they gave him time. They went 20 minutes. Hangman eventually at some point in time his arm got jacked up. There was a crazy spot where Swerve hit a stomp on the arm to make it even worse. So you know his finisher is the lariat. He couldn't get the lariat off cleanly enough because of the arm. Even if he hit it, he couldn't make the pin afterwards because he's grabbing his damn arm. So eventually that ended up being his downfall. And like I said, there was some gaga there. Eventually Swerve got off a shot with the crown, was led into the Swerve stomp, was led into the JML driver to get the victory after 20 minutes. But the story that they told there to get there was fucking awesome. Thought it was a great match. My personal, and there's other great matches on this card, for me personally, stole the show because I didn't see it coming. Like I knew what it was gonna be a good match. I didn't think it was gonna be this damn good. It was great, so I had to give them props on that one. Next match,
Strickland had it all along. I'm just glad that it just seemed like him getting released by WWE was the best thing that probably happened for his career. So you really getting to see his talent really show. Like I felt like if he would have got split away from Hit Row, I felt this how it kind of would have went. Like I feel like Hit Row kind of held him back a little bit. But.
Next match, another match that probably should have been on Collision or Dynamite. Wheeler Yuta versus Ricky Starks. This is just an excuse to give Ricky Starks a W on pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Rochambeau after a spear finishes off Yuta at 9 minutes 54 seconds. Big Bill also helped with some distraction there in this match. Next match was my co-match of the night. If I had to rank them, it would have been Hangman Swerve, this match, and then the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. This was everything.
I feel like there was so much more they could have did in this match.
I think they're
gonna run that back.
I think they left it out on purpose.
I think
I think they gave you a 5-star match that could have been a 6-star match. That's how I feel. I feel they left some shit out on purpose. I feel like ending with the knee was on purpose because that's why he did the handshake, and I think that's why they extend the match because I think that gives an excuse for each one to say you didn't really beat me submission wise. You used a strike, and I think in the back of his head he's gonna say, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So then you could do this again. We can finally
back.
get Danielson at like a Wrestle Kingdom now. Because you know who else is talking about going to Wrestle Kingdom in the sidebar of this? Adam Copeland. He said, I'm down. He said, what about me versus Okada? Dream match. Never know. I'm like, yeah, I'll be down for that shit.
He just at the point, Ed is at the point where if Ed's won a dream match against somebody, just give it to him.
That's part of the reason why he said he wanted to. He said in his career, he's been in WWE so long, he's noticed the outer world, but he's never gotten to participate in it. Now he can.
He can now.
And he said that's when he started bringing up, like, who knows? Adam Copeland versus Okada? He said, what do you think about that? I don't know. He was like, I'd be down. And I'm like, yes, I'm down for that shit too. Anyway, back to this amazing match. It was a dream match in every sense of the word, but at the same time, I do agree. I do feel like they didn't fully go there, and they could have, but they did enough of, and it went 23 minutes before the running knee. A couple of them took out Zack Sabre Jr. But they're gonna, like I said, we're gonna run this back in the future, so we'll be talking about this again. I think in the next couple months, we'll see exactly where. I'm hoping Wrestle Kingdom. I want to see more AEW involvement over there. Some of my favorite Wrestle Kingdoms is back when they used to involve like. My first Wrestle Kingdom I saw that had Omega versus Okada the first time. There was also, that was back when Adam Cole was the Ring of Honor World Champion and was defending his belt against Kyle O'Reilly, who this is before they were even Undisputed Era in NXT and then in AEW and all of that. So that was my first experience with them. I want to see more of that shit on the Wrestle Kingdom, so we can get some of that this year with a little more AEW involvement, I would say. Next match. I feel like it got more praise and I feel like it deserved a little bit. I thought it was a good match. A lot of people liked it more than I did. I just felt like, once again, an excuse to get more stars on the show, especially the stars involved in this match. But and also another reason to carry on the storyline they've been going with. Don Callis family represented by Konosuke Kateska, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay in this case, taking on Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. Don Callis family wins again. Building them up more and more as basically the top heel faction in AEW right now. I would say even more than Bullet Club Gold. Bullet Club Gold is a nice close second. But this match goes 22 minutes. Everybody basically got their shit in. It came down to Callis trying to He gets a baseball shot that gives Sammy Guevara the victory when he was in the walls from Jericho. 22 minutes and heels win, basically. Next match is your semi-main. AEW titles on the line, Aussie Open versus FTR. Not as good as their first match they had about a year or two ago. Very good match either way. Part of the reason this wasn't as good as that one, this one went 20 minutes also, is that Mark Davis of Aussie Open snapped his wrist in like the first 2 minutes of the match. Finished the match, but you could damn near see it. He snapped his shit. That was a wrap. So it didn't help. So now he's a member of their tag team that's down for the next couple weeks. So if you see Kyle Fletcher in mixed tags or wrestling by himself a lot coming up, that's why. FTR retains in this one, hitting a super shatter machine on Fletcher off the ropes to get the victory. Then we get our main event. Darby Allin versus Christian Cage, TBS title. Now, at first, I kind of questioned, even though the AEW Championship wasn't on the card here, I was wondering, like, why was this the main event other than this being in Darby Allin's home? When you saw what happened in the match, you understand why it was the main event. It deserved every bit of it. Now, the first fall... Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, true, but, I mean... Well, I guess it's spoiler already, since we spoiled it in our news. When they made the main event, I automatically knew it probably was gonna be Edge coming back.
But did that taint you from watching it?
No, but I just knew that's why they made the main event though. Like I knew like, oh, he's coming back during this match. Like he's gonna come back. I mean, but I just love a Darby Allin match. I just like watching little Darby Allin fling himself around.
You're the NXT expert here. Can you remind me, which NXT match was it where they took the ring apart like this? Was that Tommaso Ciampa versus Gargano?
Yes. When they took apart the wood, the ring and everything, yeah, that was Ciampa Gargano. That was the end of that match was when, I think Gargano, like, hits the knee on Ciampa, but then winds up taking himself out while Ciampa was handcuffed. He hit the knee on Ciampa. He passes out, knocks himself out, but Ciampa hangs up, uses the handcuff, and wins the match and retain the belt.
All right, so minus the end part you said there, just the part with the wood and the ring. Remember that. Hold on to that. I'll get back to you in 2 minutes. Okay, so the first fall of this match, because you know how Christian Cage is a dickhead, and he comes out wearing that fucking like turtleneck, right? Now,
I hate
Darby
told because of that.
When he came out, Darby told Sting to stay in the back. You know what I'm saying? Christian Cage told Luchasaurus to stay in the back and shit. All right. Oh no, Darby told Nick Wayne to stay in the back because Nick Wayne was the one that came out. Nick Wayne mama was on ringside, by the way, too. All right, so Christian Cage, he ends up losing the first fall because of that dumbass turtleneck, because he gets it put over his head hockey fight style and gets rolled up for the first pin. So it's 2 out of 3 falls. Darby got the first one. So then he comes up, one eye open, out of the top of the neck of the turtleneck, looking like a dickhead and shit. So now he's pissed off. So now he just gets to dogging him and then just blowing kisses at Nick Wayne's mama in between and like act like he's spitting game at her at the same time as he's beating Darby Allin's ass. So eventually he gets to a point where he disassembles the steps. And at first he's gonna do it and he like teases it and then just slams him on the outside of the ring. But then the second time, did you see the spot where he slammed him into the ring steps?
Say it again.
He picked him up and body slammed him from he was on the apron, picked him up from the apron from inside the ring and just threw him down on the steps. He did it twice.
Yeah.
Darby Allin's a crazy motherfucker, bro. To do that spot, bro. He looked like, now I know his feet hit, which made it harder on the steps when he landed. He still was landing upside down, like he could have paralyzed himself. That shit was fucking nuts.
That's Darby Allin, bro.
That shit. So then he got counted out from that, obviously, from that. Like, he's not getting up. So he made him count him out. So now it's 1-1. Then he snapped. That's when Christian really snapped and started tearing up the ring and bringing out the boards. And I have to say, he did it pretty fucking fast. Like, as opposed to the NXT match, dude. The NXT match, they took a while. He did this shit pretty fucking quickly, bro. That's what he did. It took about 2 minutes. He found him a little pair of shears, just lifted up the ring apron, and was like, clip, 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 clip. And all of a sudden, 30 seconds later, this whole side's up. Then he gets around, clip, 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 that whole side's up. And then within a matter of like 3 minutes total from there, he was at the wood, bro. He did that shit pretty fucking fast. I had to give him props on that. He did that shit faster than a motherfucker. So, he gets to the wood. They go fight in the ring. There's
I think he hits the unprettier. I forgot what they call it in AEW, but it was the unprettier in WWE. Hits that on
Kill
the wood. Kill switch. I think it's kill switch. Right. Hits that shit on the wood. Hits a couple DDTs. He took Darby Allin out. Ends up getting the victory. Well, actually, right before this happens, and this is when I knew this for me cued it in like, oh yeah, he's coming for sure. But Nick Wayne came out. Nick Wayne turns in the ring. He turned on Darby. That helped give Christian the win, hitting Darby with the chair and then setting it up so Christian can get the victory. Then they started to jump Darby with Christian, Luchasaurus coming out. Sting comes out to help. They jump Sting, so that doesn't even help anything. Then you get the video on the screen. It says feature presentation. It reminds me of, if you've ever seen Robert Rodriguez's Grindhouse, how it starts like that, where it's like a 60s movie kind of. It says feature presentation. He was driving in the car. They talk about how they created it and how they said they created it was actually pretty cool. Some people kind of think that because he drove past the part in the stadium where it was lighting up the fireworks, like that's a representative of like WrestleMania or him leaving WWE or whatever. He just said the day that they picked was like they're in Seattle or whatever, like the Mariners had a baseball game, so it just happened the Mariners won while they were driving by. They didn't time it up like that, it just happened. So
I don't think Edge ain't gonna take no shots at that.
But here's the other reason you should have known is Edge. The song they used on that was the Alter Bridge song. And Alter Bridge, I guess Edge uses them a lot for his music or stuff that does with wrestling, like Metalingus, the song, his on this day I see clearly. That's Alter Bridge, same thing. So.
Like Triple H using Metallica all the time.
Exactly. Little clue. So you could have known, and then he came out to the music. The only tweak to it was so you know him instead of you think you know me, you think you know him. But they said they let the copyright go out in 2020. That's why he can still use Rated R Superstar. He can still use the music. It was totally legal.
Yeah.
And he basically, what his thoughts was, you can't completely start over. He said, yeah, I do want a fresh start here. That's probably, with Adam Copeland instead of using Edge and stuff. But it's like, there's got to be something that they know. So let me not take away everything they know. So keeping the music and keeping, the Radar Superstar helps you. Oh, yeah, I know that guy, Edge. Now he's here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, comes down to the ring. Fakes like he's going to help Christian. Doesn't. Hits a spear on Luchasaurus onto a chair, ends up hitting a chair on Nick Wayne after then chucking it at Luchasaurus, goes after Christian Cage, he runs out and bitches. He's not bitching, but runs out bitch mode, backing up the ramp, getting away from everything, and he shakes hands with Darby Allin and Sting to end the show. So, Edge is now in AEW, and that was the end of Wrestle Dream. That took a minute, sorry about that. There was a lot of matches there to talk about shit.
Well, I go to a pay-per-view that had a lot of matches. Well, didn't have a lot of matches. Fastlane. A lot of shit to go through. Fastlane. Not like a lot, but like not mid. That mid sound too weak. Too weak. I'm drawing blank on words right now. We'll think of something. We'll start off with your undisputed tag team championship, the Judgment Day versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. It's fun because so first of all, like, I like Jey Uso new song. I hate the thing with the hands. He does this thing where like just me Uso, he doing this thing with his hands like this. I'm like, it looks so cheese, but it's so over though. He just got everybody doing it. I'm like, oh my god, man, like. But it worked though. I mean, of course, Cody comes out, fans singing his theme song, head to head. I'm gonna go to the middle towards the end. We're gonna start with Balor hits a disaster kick, and then Rhodes like dragon screw Damian Priest's leg onto the rope. We'll get to that. That comes back later in the match. Cody cutter on Finn Balor. Uso hits a spear, and then this part was funny. So Rhea Ripley comes out, and it's funny because like I think they put it was on the past Raw when they're like, well, Judgment Day like you. He like Jay like, they're like, well, Priest like you. He like, they like Rhea Ripley like, like what's the name? And she put a tweet out calling herself Rhea Risley, like Rhea Ribs, like wasn't she using the word ribs on her last name basically. It's funny because she comes out and Jay gets distracted. She like wave at him and everything. Jay goes right back into the ring, basically gets beat down, go to the outside. Cody hits a Cody cutter on the table. They all brawl. JD McDonald gets involved. Rhea hits Usos with the money in the bank briefcase. This the one spot I hate. Cody breaks it up at the last minute, but the camera work was so bad. If you watch it, you see Cody just standing there by ringside, waiting to run into the ring to break it up. Bad camera work on there. Priest basically chokeslammed him onto the ring apron. JD hits Priest with the knee. That allowed Rose to hit him with the crossroad on the table. Modified 1D that counts saw Rose come up with the Cody cutter to score the victory. New tag team champion. And they press conference was funny because I don't know if it was part of character or not. They was lit like fuck at the press conference. You could see it, like, especially Jay. I think Jay shot like an AEW star or something, I think, while he was heavily intoxicated. He shot it out. So I think it was a
He
shot.
shot it out?
I think it was a shot. I think he shot out Edge, I think. Like, what's his name? Which ain't bad, but you know how Mark says. Mark's trying to, like, you know, be Mark and run everything like that. Next, the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Now, of course, you know, Rey Mysterio needed a mystery partner. Mystery partner ain't show up at the beginning of this match, so it leads to 302. Of course, this leads to Lashley and the Street Profits taking advantage. Selena Vega basically gets herself involved, hand forward for Meteor on the outside of the ring, which wasn't a disqualification despite the fact the ref seen it. Eventually, their partner do come, and guess who their partner is? I spin the face of people who don't want to be cool. It's Carlito. He's actually back. He's the surprise partner, takes the tap from Mysterio. Backstabber on forward for the win. And they put these two together. They just taking L's. I don't get it. Why you got these guys taking L's? Just in case, you might as well just left Street Profits like back where they were. Then after this, apparently, there was delivered pizza to the commentary team because that Pizza Hut was, you know, sponsored by Pizza Hut. Next,
Corny.
I don't like Pizza Hut anyway. Their pizza nasty. They fell off a lot. Your championship match is Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. So this was a no disqualification match. I want to say probably like 20 seconds into the match, Charlotte Flair get missed by Asuka. Quick. Then basically Sky and Asuka with one-on-one while Flair's getting attended to. She makes her way back into the ring, start being powerhouse Charlotte Flair. Sky and Asuka basically eventually work together. But Flair basically is still dominating both of them. Chop, she and cross bodies, double suplex on both of them. Springboard moves on the outside on Asuka for Flair to hit one from the top. She landed this one. You know, we got a running joke here on Charlotte Flair and her record of missing moonsaults. She landed this one. She landed this one. Tower of Doom spot, which literally got Asuka to win. Sky and Asuka basically locked Flair in ultimate submissions. Basically, the end of this match, Bayley comes out. Scott told her earlier in the match, don't interfere. But the distraction actually worked because Asuka's tapping out to the figure 8. But Io hits the moonsault. She hits it on Charlotte. She gets the win. So she retains. It's going to lead to something down the line between her and Charlotte Flair. John Cena and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Versus the Bloodline.
Puma Asics.
Versus the Bloodline here. The normal tag match to basically get to the end of this is when Cena hits a 5-knuckle shuffle. Followed up by the BFT from Knight for the pinfall. I like this part was funny at the end after they get the win. So Cena tried to raise Knight's hand, but Knight says no. Then he raises Cena's hand, so it's him trying to still one-up John Cena. Cena, he gets the win. Bloodline still man turn, like I think I said on last week's show, he's going to be gearing next in line for Roman Reigns. Next we get our last man standing match. Main event, Damian Priest was backstage. pissed off about the loss. They were saying, we're not about to leave empty-handed. He goes, threatens to cash in money in the bank briefcase. Rhea Ripley basically says no, which I think was stupid. By the way, he didn't cash it in, which was stupid because it's a last man standing match. To be the one time you think he should cash it in. Cash it in, I would think so. Mm-hmm. But what do I know, though? Anyway, we're just going to get to weapon spots here. So it starts off, Rollins with a kendo stick. Then Rollins takes off the pad at ringside to expose the concrete, so you're getting stuff taken off, so this time patting on the outside. That comes back into play later. Rollins hits him with the steel steps, start throwing stuff in. Nakamura hits a knee to the back. Then guess what he grabs? He went old Steve Blackman. Grabbed him some nunchucks. Chin did. And just like bow, just taking himself down with him. Then shot to the leg. Then he put a trash can over Rollins' head and then hit him like 5 times with the kendo stick on the trash can. Then Rollins with some kendo stick shots. Trash can to the back of the head. Then Rollins hits a frog splash. That's the first close count of the match, a 10 count. Nakamura beats it. Then Rollins clears up the commentary desk, brings a ladder, but you don't get a chance to use the ladder. They have a table set up. Shin goes through the table after he tried to do a running knee. Rollins gets out the way. Rollins hits a pedigree, but Nakamura gets up at 9. Then Nakamura drives Rollins through a table at ringside with double knees. Then Nakamura backdrops him onto a chair, table to the corner. Pedigree on the platform outside the ring. Rollins hits a Falcon Arrow through the tables. It takes them both out. He gets up at like 9. Nakamura does not get up. That was the end of the match. That was the end of excuse me. That was the end of Fastlane, which was sort of like 4 matches. But that's it, end of Fastlane. Excuse me. Hiccups. You wanna get to your like oh yeah, Collision. Was it Collision though? Same night Collision too, wasn't it? You got Collision or you want
I got Collision from man. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Let me see. That's this week's.
Yeah,
What was the date of that?
Date of Fastlane?
Yeah.
Alright. Fastlane was on the 7th. It was
the 7th.
7th, yeah.
Yeah, the same day as Collision. I got Collision here.
Yeah, 7th.
Alright, so real quick we'll get through this one. So since we're bouncing through, we didn't miss anything really from this week's episode of Dynamite right here or Rampage. I believe yeah, the next Rampage was the one where Kairi Shida got the belt back from Sarai. No, I'm sorry. No. She got the number 1 contendership to get the belt. We'll get to that. That was earlier this week. So nothing really's happened major. Is now, Adam Cole left to go get his surgery type deal. So MJF's basically on his own right now. He's being attacked by Bullet Club Gold. Jay White is the next. He has a title match at Full Gear coming up. They stole MJF's belt. Other than that, nothing else super majors really happened. Powerhouse Hobbs has joined Don Callis' family. They took out Kenny Omega and then this week took out Jericho. We'll talk about that on this week's show. Oh, and the rise of Tony Storm being amazing.
Yes.
I said I had a Tony Schiavone moment this week, which we do. Tony introduced Adam Cole to the ring. Adam Copeland to the ring. He came out and said, I loved you when you were in WCW. You were one of the voices of my childhood. But hit the bricks, get the hell out of my ring. Tony was just like, and just walked off like it was all good. So I just thought that was funny. So, fuck Tony Schiavone! Skip
give out. Dang, Tony already getting punked, Tony. It ain't Britt no more, Tony. It's Tony now. Okay.
It was a small one, but yeah.
Okay. It's okay, Tony.
So, as I was saying about Toni Storm, she's coming to her own light with this new. She's like
Marilyn Monroe-based character.
yeah, she's one of the best in wrestling right now. So, her new thing that she does, it has me fucking rolling. So, they'll go to commercial break, and she knows when they go to commercial break to just send it off. She's like, it's like, and we'll return right after these special announcements or whatever. So then she takes it to the outside. It's like, who's up for titty slaps, huh? Huh? And then she lines her up. She's like, chin out, tits out. Bow. Nice titty slap there, huh? She be tripping,
Toni
man.
Storm is killing me, man. She's A1 right now.
Yeah, so that's the latest updates in the past week leading up to this episode of Collision Where We Are, where we had some title changes happen on this evening. Let's get into them. The show opened with one as we had FTR taking on Ricky Starks and Big Bill. This is a total domination of a match. And it was a squash match that wasn't squash match in seconds. It went 4 minutes and 30 seconds. What they did was, because FTR is so banged up, it has kinesio tape everywhere. Excuse me, Cash Wheeler came out with a broken rib from his match against Aussie Open. They put him through a table instantly. Instantly took him out of the match. And then they just jumped Dax for the most part, and then got the belts. Ricky Starks made Big Bill chokeslam Dax like 7 times in a row. Like every time he would do it like 3. He did it twice. Then he's like one more. Then did it again. He's like one more, and did it again. He's like, come on, man, one more, and did it again. So he literally did like 5 to 7 times before he finally came in there, hit the spear, and we have new tag team champions.
Man,
that fast. I'm assuming they made him drop him. We didn't make him, but they decided to drop him in order to heal up.
Probably.
Type of deal. Next match in the show, Bryan Danielson took on Kyle Fletcher in a one-on-one match. He's still showing being banged up from the match with Zack Sabre Jr. and such. Danielson ends up hitting a roll-up of a European clutch to get a victory. 15 minutes and 55 seconds over Fletcher. Post-match, he gets jumped by the Gates of Agony because he faces Swerve Strickland for a number 1 contendership spot on Dynamite. Willa Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli come out to make the save. Next match, Angelico, Gravity, and Grand Metalik. Hey, by the way, do you know that all of Lucha House Party has now made debuts on AEW since they've been fired from WWE in different factions? This week, we got Lince Dorado making his debut. We've already had the fake-ass King of the Ropes in Metalik. And then not too long back, Kalisto was on Dynamite like a year and a half ago or so. So they've all made appearances. Just wanted to state that. I didn't know if anybody knew that. Not that it was important, just happened to notice it. Anyway, they took on Bullet Club Gold. Bullet Club Gold ran these motherfuckers over. Hit Juice Rock Hard pause. Juice Robinson comes in, hits a forward DDT for the victory. 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Grand Metalik did take the pin in this one. Post match, Jay White gets in the ring, joined by Card Blade. He stole MJF's world title, so he's holding it up like he actually is the champion and such. This brings out Hangman Page, saying he wants a shot at him on Dynamite. And he basically was saying like it's going to be a title match, even though you're not the real champion, so it's obviously not a title match. Nick Wayne explains his actions against Darby Allin. Says he always looked up to you even when you've been trained by his father, but you're not my father, and you're going to try to act like him. Blah, 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 blah. He just basically turned from the influence from Christian Cage, basically. Yeah. Trios match, Iron Savages with Jack Jameson take on The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed had super corny bars. This is twice in a row they've had some cheese-ass bars they've had come out with. And last week they took on Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian and had cheese-ass bars for them, too. But they retained the title 9 minutes and 33 seconds. I guess. I don't know. Toni Storm, she's timeless. Now, this one wasn't as fun as it's been the last couple weeks because she previewed her little, like, silent movie part, which I felt like it was almost just like a time killer, I gotta be honest. It hadn't been that funny as her other stuff had been recently, but I'm willing to go with it to see more from this character later down the line. Either way, she comes out talking about It was her time to shine. She's making her re-debut, I guess, as this character. She was saying she took on my girl Kiera Hogan, fine ass. But it's funny because she came out and she handed everybody ringside scripts, like they were part of her live action movie. She handed one to Kiera Hogan, and Kiera Hogan just played her and then tore her half, which pissed her off. So then she proceeded to beat her ass. She won the match in about 8 minutes and 30 seconds with a hip attack, Storm Zero to finish off Hogan in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Ruby Soho she was looking rather good this week too. Said she had been banned from the number one contendership match that was coming up for the women's title on AEW Dynamite. And said she's cool because the girl Saraya doesn't need the help. Excuse me, after losing her number one contenders match against Kairi Ishida, she's been banned from the title match that's coming up on Dynamite, which was on Tuesday when against NXT, as you know, coming up. Ring of Honor World title match, Commander taking on Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston retains after 10 minutes. Commander got this match because he won a 4-way that was on Dynamite earlier in the week. Eddie Kingston was on commentary for that one. And then to finish off the show, Edge comes out and makes his first words after making his debut at Wrestle Kingdom. He basically comes out, says he wanted to thank JR for giving him his first contract, which helped take care of all his college debt, so he left him for life for that. He said he realized Christian Cage, he isn't surprised. He's kind of acting like a dickhead recently. Doing his Bond villain phase. He says Nick Wayne is like his little Persian cat that he's been rubbing or whatever. He said, but he really came back because he wants to tag team with him. I want to tag team with you. So he tells him to come out. Let's talk. Come on, let's come out. Let's talk. So Cage comes out. He hugs him and everything. And they started acting like everything was cool. But he had a straight face. He was straight. He was not selling this shit. Straight face. So as he gives him the hug, he's all like, go fuck yourself. And he just walks off, and then he's like, my dinosaur is gonna kick your ass next week. So that announces on the title Tuesday will be Edge's first official match at AEW.
Christian said that.
Yeah, and that was the end of.
He pulled the Jay-Z. He pulled the mom Jay-Z moment.
And that was the end of Collision.
We get too much Christian, man.
That's the end of Collision. Go fuck yourself.
Going to the Monday Night Raw. First match is Otis versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed gets the win here, the Tsunami, at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Just a match, but they were just trying to go for their finishers. Maxine Dupree was here with Otis, though. Next, Becky Lynch is backstage. Tegan Knox walks in, basically asking about why did she defer her and face Natalia. She said you gotta step on some toes, basically, to get where you gotta go. Basically what she was saying. What the heck just happened? Oh, okay, there you go. Never mind. I got it. Next, she basically said she wants asking for a title match. Natalia said you should have to earn your title shot, so this leads to a match. Next, we get Ludwig Kaiser versus Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa gets the win here. They're building Tommaso Ciampa up to be the next challenger for Gunther. Tegan Knox versus Natalia. Becky Lynch is on commentary here. Natalia gets the win. Tegan Knox gets the win here. We get Seth Rollins.
Hey, real quick. So I heard she has a new look.
Oh.
Tegan Knox.
Not really.
Like her hair?
Her hair was like that when she got what's name the first time. So her look ain't really changed. The only good thing about Tegan Knox is she ain't wearing them big bulky knee braces no more. So that's the big change from that I got from there. But no, her hair basically she ain't really make that big much of a change with her hair.
Okay.
Oh, okay, hold on. My phone just took a crap on me. Huh? I know, right? I know how you feel. Got on a little reload everything real quick. Sorry about that. All right. Oh, snap. Yep, never mind. Then I look at it like, nope. I'm glad it did do that. That was the wrong Raw. Went too far ahead. I forgot to change my bookmarks. That's the bad thing of when you don't do a show like 2 weeks and you be busy. So, X all that out. We start over. Kofi Kingston versus Ivar. Viking rules match. Eric is out for indefinitely with an injury. Ivar gets the win here. He counted trouble in paradise with a dive through a table. Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax. Rhea Ripley throws Rodriguez outside for the DQ. She basically just want to fight. Basically, she just want to go after Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler comes in to go after Nia Jax. Ripley breaks that up. Then Baszler hits Ripley with a German suplex and a running knee. So this is going to set up something here with them. Seth Rollins tells Drew McIntyre they are official for a crown jewel. So McIntyre going to get a title shot at Seth Rollins. We get the new tag team champions. They come out. Kevin and Sammy and KO basically comes out, and Owens basically goats Jay into basically give him the title shot. Bailey saying that you're scared of us. Next we get Ricochet versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. Shinsuke attacks Ricochet from behind. Ricochet still competes in the match. Bronson Reed gets the match here. He's the number 1 contender for Gunter. He gets Gunter next week on Raw. Becky Lynch was not cleared to compete because she has 11 stitches in her arm. From the match at No Mercy. Xia Li walks up and says she wants a shot. Lynch said, I'm not hard to find. Drew McIntyre versus JD Madonna. McIntyre gets that win there. Let's go. Then we get Becky Lynch versus Tegan Nox. Great match between the two. Becky basically gets the win here with the disarmer. Nox has to tap. I think she's gonna be they're doing Becky as a fighting champion. She basically, like I said, I think she's basically winding her time down. So she's just gonna have matches with like many people as she can to make them look good on her way out the door. Andy Hartwell and Candice Ray are backstage when Ripley basically tells them to leave. She calls for a match against Shayna Baszler. Says she wants her next week. She gets that match. Main event is your tag team championship. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This match goes 21 minutes. Great match back and forth. Cody wins this match with the Cody Cutter on Kevin Owens. After the match, he finally gets his respect to Jay, so everything between them is like squashed. And that was the end of Raw. I usually jump into NXT, but I'm gonna let you go with Dynamite. I have to use the bathroom.
I had a feeling it was coming. I could tell. I don't know why.
What you mean?
I don't know why. I just had a feeling that because usually you'd be like, all right, and now on the NXT, you didn't really say that coming out your mouth, so I kind of figured. Yeah. When you pull the card out here for you, that's fine. I can jump into Dynamite while you do that. Here you go.
Gotta go. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll get the door closed.
Don't close that all the way. So
That's good.
yeah, you should be good. All right. Anyway, so back here, let's switch that camera angle up so you don't have to see that. Hey, you see my beautiful mug. Hey, how you doing, friends? So over on Dynamite this week, Edge had his first match. It was on Tuesday. Preemptive. I'm assuming something having to do with the NBA was the reason why. NXT, as he'll tell you when they come back, went all out of their way this week to go up against them because the first time they've had a head-to-head since they were both on Wednesday nights before NXT was destroyed in that head-to-head and had to move to Tuesday nights. They'll tell you it's another reason, hockey or something to do like that. That's on USA Network, which is probably partly true, but it's not the whole reason. We know that anyway. So they brought out other big guns over there. John Cena, The Undertaker, Cody Rhodes all made appearances on NXT. Also Paul Heyman. They all had parts to do with the show and such. So, like I said, our NXT guy across the table when he gets back, he'll tell you about that. So let's start off with this show where we had
Eddie Kingston in the pre-show, which you never get pre-shows on Dynamite, so they were trying to step up their game too. You had NJPW strong open weight and ROH World Champion Eddie Kingston taking on Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki. Now, the craziest part about this is that this is twice this year alone, I do believe. Twice this year alone. Murder Grandpa's been on a pre-show of a Dynamite or a pay-per-view or something like that. Because last time he was taking on Daniel Bryan. So you got that as a free match on YouTube. So that's the gift that AEW can give you if you look at it that way. It's a pretty good match. They went straight into jacking each other up. To no one's surprise, Kingston and Suzuki beat the living shit out of each other with stiff strikes, gunshot chops, stunning forearms, fighting spirit. Eddie survived Murder Grandpa to retain both of his belts in a hell of a slugfest. And post-match, they chopped each other in love and then hugged. So that was crazy. Moving on from there, Christian Cage started the show out talking shit to the people backstage, talking about he's the top champion in wrestling right now, and because of such, he made the first 30 minutes of Dynamite commercial free. Also part of their competition going against NXT again for the first time in a while in head-to-head. The show starts off with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, taking on the realist, Swerve Strickland right now. And so while you were gone, I was saying it, and you would talk about this. All the firepower NXT brought to their show this week, because it was the first time having a head-to-head against AEW. AEW did the same a little bit. If the AEW has a pre-show to Dynamite, you know it's a bigger show. But what you got in the pre-show was they keep dropping gems in their pre-show. So the last time we got a pre-show that was a free one that was on YouTube, you got Murder Grandpa versus Bryan Danielson.
Oh.
This time you get Eddie Kingston versus Murder Grandpa as your free match.
Oh my God.
So I was talking about that while you were gone.
That was a hard hand match right there. Oh, wait, that's a good match.
They ended it by he retains, and then they chopped each other out of love after him retaining, instead of just like shaking hands. They gave each other love chops.
All right.
Your opening match was Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. This was a great match. Hell of a back and forth with some great submission spots, solid strikes, and drama. Either man made sense to be the challenger to TNT champion Christian Cage. But eventually, this time, Swerve ends up losing this one because he tried to do the same thing that he did to Hangman. Try to sneak Prince Nana's crown in. This time he got, as he's about to, it got snatched by Hangman running out to ringside. He ends up getting caught by the bicycle knee for Danielson to get the victory. So you will have on Collision Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. Multiple things I like here. One, the names that they're evolving with the TNT title has elevated over the last year, I would say, to bring more prestige on that. Bryan Danielson's in that picture right now. Swerve Strickland's in that picture right now, which I feel like is also their way to divert the fact that, yes, they have a world title challenger coming up for Full Gear, but the world title hasn't been that much in the main picture because the world champions had a storyline going on with Cole and the tag team ROH titles and stuff. It diverts the fact that that's not been on a main fixture of television recently, which I think is a good thing for your show if you're able to get on good shows without that being your main thing, which usually it is for most wrestling companies, is what the world champion is doing and what's surrounding him and stuff like that. He got his own thing going on, but they got fires in other parts of the pot, which I'm liking too. So that's why I like that they're bringing more prestige to some of the names fighting for the title, like Christian holding it. Then you got a Bryan Danielson coming up for it, or Swerve Strickland, you know what I'm saying? Names of that nature. So I like that they're bringing more prestige to that title there in the company. Moving on from there, Samoa Joe basically cut a promo talking about how he's going to be coming after the World Championship again soon enough. After getting that taste, after being choked out by MJF in their match at Grand Slam in the garage about a month or so ago. The next match was Christian Cage taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. Basically, Powerhouse Hobbs what do you call the move? Spine busted him to death. Let's say that. He gave him about 3 or 4 until he couldn't get up anymore. And he basically pinned him with his knee on his face. It was totally disrespectful. And then afterwards, they had him backstage and checked out by the doctors. And they said he had to go to a local medical facility or actually maybe called to the hospital for all I fucking know. But either way, he's now taking out Kenny Omega and he's taking out Jericho himself since he's doing John Callis' family, building his stock back up there for Powerhouse Hobbs. So that was nice to see. Had a quick vignette with Adam, Saudi bitch version of Roderick Strong. Adam Cole still fooling around the fucking house with him, doing geek shit, even though he's going off getting surgery while the Kingdom are there making him feel like a piece of shit for it. I like that their neck strong mascot is a fucking giraffe, because giraffes use their necks to fight and shit. It's retarded. Moving on from there, you had your international title match, Rey Fenix versus Orange Cassidy. And as I said, there was supposed to be Moxley for this match originally. Cassidy didn't know he was going to be in this match when we got to the arena. Moxley's still not cleared, so they slid Cassidy back in here. You know, he's been moping around recently since he's lost that title over the last month. And damn if he wouldn't be damned to go get this motherfucker back. I also feel like this is a reason to write Rey Fenix off to let him heal up from some injuries, but regaining the international championship is Orange Cassidy. Got his belt back, so he ain't got to feel bad no more. Next up, Wardlow making his reemergence back on television, gets a squash match against Matt Sydal. This match was stopped by the referee after about 4 straight power bombs by Wardlow, who just left through the crowd, as he's been doing recently since he's returned, building himself back up. Adam Page versus Switchblade Jay White, not title match, even though he tried to act like it was a title match. This is the first time I've seen them wrestle each other since they both were in New Japan years ago, like 3-4 years ago, so it's been a while. Pretty good matchup here between the two. Switchblade gets the victory though with the roll-up holding the trunks. So cheating, of course, to get it done, but no, gets it done either way. After that, starts talking shit to Max. So also that happened, and I forgot to mention, after Swerve, Jay White came out talking shit to Max, and Max kind of dogged him on mic, called him tofu, crowd was calling him tofu. He made his challenge for, saying like, I'm coming for that belt, whatever. Somebody in their goons had on his devil mask and jumped Jay White at the end of the show before it went to black. He claims it wasn't him and somebody stole it from the bag, which was setting up the title match, and why they jumped him and stole Max's title belt, and why he's walking around with it was because of that. He comes out to talk shit, try to get the belt back, doesn't work still, and they still walk off with it. Instead, he ends up with the match against Rock Hard Pause, Juice Robinson, and he made fun of him because you remember when he said people used to throw quarters at him because he was Jewish when he was a little kid, so he had a roll of quarters with his name on it and said, these are just for you, I'm gonna bust you in the fucking mouth with them when we fight. Basically is what Juice Robinson said without the swear word in there I just used. But so that set that up. That's what happened there. Next up, AEW Women's Title match, Saraya. This is basically your semi-main. Saraya. So we got the 9 o'clock spot, but Lisa with the semi-main, title on the line, taking on your girl Hikaru Shida. Shida wins this one, even though she got the spray bait to the face from Ruby at one point, so she had to fight through that, basically blindfolded, wins this match, and gets, because the first 3-time women's champion in AEW winning this match. We got some Tony time here. Time that Tony comes out after she gets spray painted in the face, after Hikaru Shida does. She comes out with the shoe, chases off Ruby. Shida ends up winning this title, even though she's basically blindfolded, and gets a reverse cradle pin to get the victory over Saraya. So she's now a 3-time champion. So remember we said she lost it kind of shittily? She got it back. No, there we go.
Yeah, we'll see.
Your main event, Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland taking on Luchasaurus. Good match for him. I thought he looked great in this match. My favorite spot of the match is he had Luchasaurus set up on the outside after Luchasaurus had set up the steps like he was gonna like suplex him on it or something, but that spot didn't happen. Edge runs off the edge of the apron, hops off of the steps to get a midair spear on Luchasaurus on the outside, which is a great spot. Eventually they get back in the ring. But the Gaga happens, Nick Wayne comes down. Christian Cage tries to get involved at the same time, tries to smash him with the TNT title. So while the ref has their back turned dealing with Nick Wayne, Adam Copeland, I was about to say it. Adam Copeland steals the belt, smacks Luchasaurus, tosses it back to Cage. So it makes it seem like Cage was the one that hit Luchasaurus. And then he ends up hits him with a massive spear after that to get the victory. His first victory at AEW over Luchasaurus. So he stands tall at the end of the day.
That was funny too. Question like, you hit me with the belt. I'm like, you really think you're gonna hit me with the belt?
And then post match, they go jump him. Brian Danielson comes down for the save. He ends up getting beat down. Blackpool Combat Club comes down, but just Swerve Strickland and the Mogul Entity comes down. So the Gates of Agony come down. Then it's a numbers match at that point in time. So by the time you get to the end of the show, you have Christian Cage stuck in a LaBelle lock from Daniel Bryan. It's just chaos everywhere in the ring. As they go to black, he's just tapping out to a LaBelle lock. And that was the end of Dynamite.
The damn turtleneck still on.
that was the end of time. Yeah, you did have turtleneck on, actually. That was the end of Dynamite.
Yeah, I just hate him because he just wears that turtleneck. Who walks around wearing turtleneck? Turtleneck. And he got the one that go all the way up like to your neck. Like it. Oh man. He's doing the job though. Let's start off with Cody Rhodes. He basically is on NXT. He talks about the women breakout tournament. He said we need to have a men's tournament, which means, and he basically announced that the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic will be returning at the conclusion of the men's tournament. Then he also announced that Shawn Michaels had made him the guest general manager for the night. This is one of the rules that Triple H basically didn't like. Triple H basically said, I'm getting rid of I'm bringing back general managers. Managers. He I don't want to go to all the collusion on one show. That's because Vince did not like general managers at all. He hated doing it, but yeah, the same guy that bought a computer and made him a GM. No, I don't know. Anyway, he comes out and he's Dragunov comes down, welcome to the show, and said he's appreciating being here. Rhea and Dom come out. Dom said the people are here to see him. Dragunov said no, nobody likes you. And he said, oh, by the way, this is the best part. He said, oh yeah, by the way, my dad used to work in a prison, so I know how to turn you into a puppy, basically. It seems so weird hearing him talk like that because it's we're driving for Moscow or something. He basically issues a challenge for the title, but Cody said that doesn't mean Dominic doesn't want the North American title on the line. By the way, Dragunov basically bags Cody to make the match and make it happen. But they have a special referee. It's not Cody, it's your boy LA Knight. Yeah. Again.
Puma 6. Yeah.
Next we get Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Shotzi comes out here and joins commentary. This was a veteran, basically. This was one of those veteran versus an upcoming star match. The veteran was going to win the match. Asuka wins. When they will be doing, her and Scarlett will be hosting night one of Halloween Havoc. They also have this show on YouTube where they go to haunted houses and stuff like that. Armbar. Also has an armbar. Perez with a leg sweep, suicide dive, crossbody. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock, but Perez flips out backwards to escape. Asuka kicks her in the head for the pin for a 6-minute match. Respect between them two, but Keanu James junked Perez. Shotzi makes the save. Then we get Tyler Bate, Brawling Bruce versus Gallus. This is a pub rules match. Can we just say street fight? Let's not stop adding names to everything. It's a street fight. If it's a pub rule match, I expect them to fight in a bar or something, because they ain't like England is bars and stuff. A pub is a bar or something.
Yeah, it is.
We should just make it a bar. Anyway, we got weapons, pub items. Bush stabbed Joe's fingers with a dart. Cause Bush gotta do something with fingers all the time. Holland for trash can. Holland basically hits him with a fire extinguisher. Bush hurts his legs in a spot on the floor. Come back from break. Bush basically is stomping everybody out. Bop and bang inside. Suplex on Mark. Bush misses the slingshot. Wolfgang hits a running flip. Joe loads up a pile driver. Bate turns into a Boston Crab. And then they finish Joe Coffey with a triple power bomb through a table. So next we get I forgot to mention they had a triple threat. They had a match. Andy Hartwell, Lyle Valkyrie, and Roxanne Perez had a triple threat match for the number one contender at for Becky Lynch. Lyle Valkyrie wins that match. They both have similar paths. They're both from Ireland. Journey through WWE went through the same way. They used to train together. They will fight for the title in Halloween Havoc. Tegan Knox interrupts and says that why does her title match have to wait? Why don't you just do it now? She basically wants another shot at Becky. John Cena comes out here, and basically he does his John Cena stick, basically. Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. Cody Rhodes and LA Knight is here. Cena thanks the fans for the environment. He said that they are on Raw and SmackDown, but we are NXT. Cena said he had to jump at the chance when Hayes called him because they both believe in hustle, loyalty, respect. Breaker interferes, and they basically give him a Braun Breaker sucks. Cena basically says, I heard this before. He said it's cooler when the lyrics are changed. So he said that they turned it to a karaoke bar. He said, but Cena knows everyone in business is in Breaker. Cena says everyone knows the business is in Breaker's blood. He's gifted, but anyone can see that he lacks respect. The handshake is offered, but Breaker drops Cena, missed the spear. He goes for the AA, but don't work. Cody runs into Tony D'Angelo and Stacks, who said they want next challenger suggest a tag team battle royal. Cody likes the idea and said the match is happening at Halloween Havoc. The title match can happen at Halloween Havoc. Corbin thinks Dragunov is ducking him, and around everybody else is the same. LA Knight cuts him off. It's time for a match. We get Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio for the NXT title. Only Dragunov is defending here. I forgot to mention that after that No Mercy match that Trick Williams won, Dominic Mysterio won the title back later on NXT. So his reign was on like 3 days. Ripley offered a distraction after Dragunov was taking control of the match. Dominic gets a thumb in the eye. Alright, the 619 puts Dominic down. Dragunov goes for waist lock. Real Ripley looks worried at this point. Dominic starts chopping in the corner. Head rock. Dominic right back with another 619. Dominic scores on a suplex for Dominic to roll to the apron. DDT drop. Dragunov onto the apron. Power bomb. H-bomb connects. Finn Balor for distraction. Knight gets rid of him. Ripley tries a belt shot on Dragunov. Trick cuts her off. He basically grabbed her foot and she fell into his arm. Dragunov hits a torpedo. Moscow for the win at 12 minutes. This was after the match. Baron Corbin comes out, but Dijak kicks Dragunov to the face and tells Corbin that he beat him to it. Next, we get John Cena and Carmelo Hayes. They share some respect. Trick comes in. Melo apologized for not being here last week. Williams said it's not the time for that because Cena here. Cena says, you mean you can see me? William and Hayes said they're going to get their title backs. Cena asks if Williams okay, which he said he is. Next, Paul Heyman tries to recruit Ava, who he wants to be part of the bloodline. Because you're actually part of Roman Reigns' family. Jade Cargill arrives. She's greeted by Shawn Michaels. And then Baron Corbin talked to Cody Rhodes and requested that the match be a triple threat. Cody like, no, I'll make it a triple threat. You, Dijak, and the winner of Hayes versus Breaker. Breaker. Then we get Lola Vice versus Danny Palmer. Lola Vice gets the win at 358. There you go home. Oh, and then remember that promo I was telling you about the guy that's watching WCW and watching Cincinnati Bingo game? That's Brian Pillman Jr.
That makes sense.
They said his name is King now, so they basically just like gonna guess literally what his name is now.
Just King?
Yeah, like just King. Then we get Hayes versus Breaker. Heyman and Cena are here too. We come back and forth match. Basically gonna get to the end of the part right here. Solo comes out. This leads to a brawl between them. LA Knight, everybody's involved. Nothing but neck to Breaker for the win at 12 minutes. After the match, Breaker spears Mello and said, "There's only one badass here, a WWE. Here comes Undertaker, Biker Taker." And basically said that I like when Taker comes out here now. He basically say all y'all guys have a future. He said it's just not today. Choke slammed him. Undertaker told him that there's always somebody bigger and badder than you. Then he gives props to Mello at the end of the show. So that's the end of NXT.
All right. I probably should have transitioned you on the camera here, but we all can hear you. At least you weren't muted, so that's my bad when I went to the bathroom. So let's get into the last shows of the week, and we can get out of here, brother.
All
right.
SmackDown. Oh, wait.
Was
it Dynamite too? No, Dynamite was on Tuesday.
Yeah, we did it. We did Dynamite. You remember Tuesday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm used to.
But I got a Rampage, and then you got SmackDown, and then I can save Collision for next week. Since we're kind of short on time. It was yesterday. I watched it this morning. I didn't watch it yesterday. I was involved. I was heavily involved with college football failing me. So Saturday night. Yeah, it sucked.
Okay.
It sucked.
It happens sometimes.
I had some good winning tickets that just bombed.
Oh.
Thanks, Caleb Williams. Anywho, so let's talk about. I'll talk about Rampage. You talk about SmackDown, and we'll get the hell out of here. How about that? All right. So starting off on Rampage, let's give you a quick backup. We got a Wild Slap Nuts appearing in a moment. Right now, Wild Slap Nuts on the loose. Diddlin', diddlin'.
JEFF, JARRE to Double T, Jeff Jarrett.
So,
yeah. Mr. Slap Nuts, we missed you.
So, Mr. Slapnuts himself. They had a moment earlier this week we have to discuss right quick before we get into how we even got to this moment talking about him. So, Jay Lethal, first of all, even before Jay Lethal, and this is going back to Wrestle Dream. So, Stokely Hathaway is like some type of position of higher power as far as like some committee with ROH that involves a champion. And he doesn't like the fact that Eddie Kingston's the champion. His words, quote, "I don't like my champion smelling like stale beer Newports." That's what he told Renee. He was like, all right, cool.
Damn.
So then he
that's harsh.
Eddie Kingston has an involvement. Where is it at right here? Yes. So Eddie Kingston has an involvement with Jeff Jarrett. So he's basically kind of promo backstage and he's ready for any opponent. Jeff Jarrett and the crew coming to the set, obviously. So over his shoulder is the giant dude. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. And you also had Sanjay Dutt was there, and he was pissed off because he feels like Eddie Kingston was disrespecting his boy Jay Lethal, who was a former ROH champion, and he calls him out for that. And then he tells me he wants to give him a title shot. Kingston says, I'll give him a title shot, but he has to prove himself that he's more than the clown like he's been acting like these days. So the part that makes it the funniest for Jeff Jarrett is he comes in, he's like, you know what, Kingston? I don't like you, partner. That's literally how he said it. That's how he said it, bro. He was like, I don't like you, partner. He said, and Eddie Kingston was like, well, you know what, partner? He said, I don't like you or trust you. You haven't done anything honorable in years. He said, you don't know what the word trust means. And by the way, can you tell my Iron Giant to quit breathing on my shoulder here? You taking on my ear, bro. I need you to back off my shoulder, bro. So that's when he says, if your boy can prove himself to be more than the clown like he's been acting like recently, then maybe I'll give him a title shot. Partner.
Oh, man.
And then he walked up. So that's what led us here. But before all that, after he walks away, Stokely Hathaway comes into the scene. Because they were just about to start talking shit. And he was like, listen, I don't like you. I don't like his big ass. And I don't like you, Jared. And I'm not into milk, so I don't like you either. Talking about Karen Jared, because her tits were up.
Nice.
But he basically whispers inside Jay Dutt's ear, and they decided they're going to have a deal. So they're trying to work on something to get Ed Kingston in that bill. Basically.
Said I don't like milk.
So that's how we got back to this point of where we're at with this episode of Rampage. Jay Lethal taking on Trent Beretta. All of Lethal's cronies are on the outside, of course, along with Sexy Chucky T is on the outside representing his boy Trent Beretta here also. A super kick to the bad knee sets up a lethal injection for Jay Lethal to get a clean pin. 10 minutes, 16 seconds. Ortiz talking more shit about Santana, believing he didn't believe what he saw in him. Santana was just next to him, though, instead of being with him. Cue Santana to ask where Ortiz was when he went out. And they asked each other the whole time. A challenging issue where they could talk trash to each other. Santana says it wasn't Karma that took him out of his knee, but Ortiz carrying him. Next match, and it's the effect of getting the mist in the face. WWE doesn't seem to follow it, but AEW does. If you get mist in the face, that's basically a heel turn. Sky Blue is turning heel in front of our face. It just hasn't fully gone there. We saw it already happen with Julia Hart before. I forgot who originally misted her. Oh, wait, no. Wasn't she got put in, she stood in the way and caught a miss from Aleister Black?
Yeah.
From somebody, it was meant for somebody else, though? Okay, so that's how
she was with Brian Pillman and them, I think.
Right,
Yeah.
She was the cheerleader, right, and then she turned. Okay, thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, I think if you get missed, you're supposed to turn. Like,
Well,
you start turning.
Sky Blue's turning. She's not fully there, but matches like this are slowly getting us there. She's against one of my favorite women's wrestlers on the planet, Emi Sakura, because she's such a fucking goofball, but she's also great in the ring, though. She had a typical Emi Sakura match that Sky Blue just said, fuck that shit, I'm breaking out of this. She ends up winning this one by breaking out of the Skyfall. Sakura hit a very delayed butterfly backbreaker for a 2 spot. Sky Blue gets back up, hits her with a super kick, and grabs the Cold Blue for victory at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Next up, Gates of Agony versus
That makes
Blackpool.
sense too with Julia Hart about to go on what's her name. She can take her spot until she come back.
I don't know if she's gonna join a faction, but you know, she's gonna be the next spooky bitch, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Resident spooky bitch. Gates of Agony versus Blackpool Combat Club was your main event here. 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Judah hits an angle slam on Toa Khan. Then they hit the fastball special, finish him off, and Blackpool Combat Club stands tall in this one. After all, this is also part of the spill out from the end of Dynamite, where everybody was coming out at the end of the match. You know what I'm saying? And that was Rampage for the week. I'm gonna say Collision for next week.
All right, I'll start off with SmackDown. It starts off with John Cena. This is the season premiere. He gets cut off by the Bloodline. Everybody minus Jimmy Uso. Jimmy's the one that's not here. Roman Reigns said, "If you're gonna open my show, you need to do it right." He said, "While you came back while I was on vacation, you started calling yourself the GOAT." Cena says he don't earn the right to challenge Reigns, but he found out someone who do. Cue your boy LA Knight. Yeah. He said that he's been in the game and the game changed since Reigns gone. He said he's the fastest rising star, but Jimmy jumps from behind. Knight sends him out. Then Cena holds up his hand to say, "Knight just did that by himself. I had nothing to do with it." And then Solo has to stare down with Knight. That ends that. Your boy, Pretty Deadly. They're back.
Yeah, boy.
They're back. Yes. Versus Brawling Brutes. Holland takes the pinfall here at 9 minutes. Your boys, they're back. Glad to have them back in the ring. Carlito is back. Lashley interrupt. He wants to face him on his first match on SmackDown, but he gets jumped by the Street Profits. Reigns want to know what the hell was Jimmy Uso doing out there. Jimmy said, I'm trying to be like you. He said, then he looks at Paul Heyman. He said, you think you're the quarterback? He's like, well, I suggest about getting Jay. He's like, that's old news. He wants them tag team title battles. He says a slap in the face as long as Jay has them. Next we get Bayley versus Selena Vega. Vega gets role playing here. She takes the L at 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Lead to a beatdown. Charlotte makes the save. Next, Triple H is here to make a big announcement. He talked about how many major shows they have coming up. He started with Adam Pearce, who said he been working thankless job for years. He deserves promotion. Therefore, he is the new general manager of Monday Night Raw. Said we need general manager of SmackDown.
Wait. So, did you just shit on your own show? Not you, him. He said he's been toiling this long. He was the GM of SmackDown. Now you made him the GM of Raw.
He never had. No, he said
he never had the title.
He never been working aimlessly, but doing both shows.
So now he just does one.
He says you're the GM of Raw now. Yeah. So he basically getting GM.
But then he said like he was giving him a raise though. So did you shit on one of your shows by saying that? Like, I don't know. Go ahead, my bad.
I don't know. He said he's been working a thankless. Job for years, and he deserves a promotion. Oh, I get what he's saying.
See, you said it's a promotion.
No, what he's saying, basically saying like, I'll put it like, he's saying like you've been busting your ass for years, but you ain't really had like an official title. Like they always called him handler. Like they brought to him with all his problems and everything like that, but he never had a title put on him. No, he was just like the authority figure that made all the matches. So he basically said that he's the official general manager of Monday Night Raw. He said we need one for SmackDown. Here comes Dominic Mysterio. He talked about how Judgment Day got screwed out of the title. Triple H said, I can't hear you over all these boos. He said it's unfair to have a tag team title match when Judgment Day has a shot on Raw. He said, I can't believe the fans hate you that much. He said they hate you that much. They're going to think I'm pumping in the noise, which they're not. Dominic said, you're mad about time match? They need to talk to your new general manager of SmackDown, which is Nick Aldis. So that's your new general manager of SmackDown.
Glad to see him finally get on their TV. He should have been there a long time ago.
He said, I'm a big fan of you. He said, I'm a big fan of you, Dominic. Your father, I mean. So he talked about the Jey Uso trade. We finally got a superstar that been traded. Dominic said, I don't care. He said, I'll slap the new superstar. Guess who that new superstar is? It's Kevin Owens. Owens basically comes in, gives Dominic a stunner. So, Bloodline isn't pleased with this. Chelsea Green and Piper Nevin try to get new titles from Nick Aldis, but he has an appointment with Charlotte. I agree they should split them damn titles up, probably, but I don't know. Therefore, Charlotte gets a women's title match because he said what happened at Fastlane wasn't fair. Bayley don't make the distraction. Charlotte gets the win because Asuka would have tapped out. She leaves and she runs to Jade Cargill, who with Triple H. Basically shakes her hand. They stare her down. She said, it's my pleasure to meet you. Charlotte just said it will be. Just leave. She said, Jay got this look on her face like, bitch, what? Hold on. So, next we get tag team title match. Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. This basically was a get them on the show match. You know, see the premiere of SmackDown. You want to get your tag team champs on this match. The 1D into the Crossroads. Austin Theory eats the pin at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Next we get LA Knight, versus Solo.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I know we're short on time, but just ran across my mind. How do you have a season premiere for something that doesn't end?
I don't know. I don't get that neither.
If the season
I don't get that neither. Like, why did the season premiere of SmackDown or Raw? Like, the show never ends.
When do we have a fucking finale?
Maybe the season premiere because he got a new general manager. But
when do we have a finale?
I don't know. When the show eventually get canceled or whatever.
I guess. All right.
Hey, I'm with you on that one. I don't get it neither. It stumps me too. How the hell you? Yeah. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you on that one. Like, how the hell we have a season premiere? Like, how many episodes before you get a new season premiere?
250.
Hell, I don't know.
165. Half a year.
This is your main event. It's your boy LA Knight, versus Solo Sikoa. Start off slow. Knight comes back. Solo basically gets a 2 off an elbow and a belly to belly. Run Umaga attack. Knight gets an elbow off the corner. Middle bull drop for 2. Samoan drop. Gets Solo. He has 2 more. Missed the senton. Knight comes back with a clothesline. Power slam to the LA elbow. Cue Jimmy Uso to come. Cena makes the save. Solo gives Cena the Samoa spike, but then that winds up leading to him to eating the BFT. Knight gets the pin at 13 minutes. Then at the end of the show, Roman Reigns basically spears the holy dog shit out of LA Knight, bro. At the end of the show, this shit came out of nowhere. Nowhere. And that is the end of SmackDown. That's how over LA Knight is right now. Basically spears him, stares him down at the end of the match. That is the end of SmackDown.
Not only is that the end of SmackDown, that's the end of our show also. Hopefully back at our regular scheduled time next weekend.
Yes.
Catching up on everything going down this week. Same place, same time, same channel, right here. Birdhouse Entertainment on YouTube. I'm one half of your host. I'm Rob.
I'm Clint.
And this has been Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. Shut it down. Let's go home.
Queer shit, blue chip shit, Noki with the rain.